Hello and welcome to a special episode of In Focus, where we take a look back at the stories that shaped us in 2015. For football fans, there was always one universal truth. FIFA was corrupt. The fans knew it, the players knew it, and of course, FIFA knew it. But despite that blatant truth, it seems like nothing would ever be done about it. That was until the morning of May 27. 7 FIFA officials are arrested in Zurich in a pre-dawn raid, to the sheer delight of lovers of the game the world over. Finally, something was being done about it. Big names like Vice President Eugenio Figueiredo, CONCACAF President Jeffrey Webb, and a man who once held both of those positions, Jack Warner. President Sepp Blatter eventually resigned in disgrace and is now under investigation himself, as is his heir apparent, Michel Platini. One of the most explosive stories of sporting corruption in history. Each year we expect a series of events that shock us. Unfortunately, it's inevitable. But just 3 days into the new year, we learnt of violence that stunned us all. Over the course of 5 days, jihadist group Boko Haram carried out a series of mass killings in the Nigerian town of Baga. Death estimates range from at least 150 up to 2,000, with the town effectively burned to the ground. An official death toll was never discovered because, as one resident said, "No one stayed back to count bodies. We were all running to get out of town ahead of Boko Haram fighters who have since taken over the area." It was another act of barbarity from a group now aligned with Daesh. Less than a year before the Baga massacre, Boko Haram had kidnapped 276 schoolgirls from their classrooms. Those girls have never been found, and the group continues to terrorize northern Nigeria. Few things capture the public's imagination like space exploration, in particular, planets in our solar system. One planet, or exoplanet in particular, has received less attention than most throughout the space age, but that's all changed in mid-July. New Horizons, an interplanetary space probe launched 9 years ago, performed the first ever flyby of Pluto on July 14, bringing us the most detailed look at the dwarf planet we've ever seen. Its signature heart stole ours, and prompted many pro-Pluto activists to again call for its reintroduction as a fully fledged member of our solar system. The annual Hajj pilgrimage is a mandatory religious duty for Muslims, expected to be carried out at least once in their adult life if possible. But for at least 2,070 people this year, it was the last thing they ever did. With 2 million people descending on Mecca in a 5-day period, crowd issues are commonplace, but a fatal crowd collapse on the second day highlighted the logistical nightmare of such incredible numbers. Between 2,070 and 2,427 people were crushed to death during a stampede, the deadliest in the event's history. Saudi Arabia's response was heavily criticised, with the country's Grand Mufti saying the incident was beyond human control, inevitable, and left up to fate. Most believe this deadly stampede won't be the last. With Barack Obama's growing emphasis on the importance of climate change action, the world has focused more on the issue in recent years. After the failure of Copenhagen 2009, the Paris Climate Change Conference was billed as one of the most important summits in history. 6 years earlier, the world was unprepared and too focused on the GFC to make any considerable headwind. This time around, deals between China and the USA were already in place, and the rest of the world followed. It's too early to tell whether the summit was a success, with everyone now waiting to see if attendees will live up to their lofty promises. Join us next time where we continue the countdown of the most important stories of this year.